Hello and welcome back to After Dark. It is me, Neil, and I am joined by Jordan.
Hello.
And we're also joined by our great friend, Sam Bram.
Hello.
Who
We're gonna put in like some fake cheers as he introduces himself. Just edit in.
Yeah, we've talked about Sam before on pretty much every episode of After Dark so far.
Yep. I've heard my name.
Yeah, we used to live together, us three. We're three of the OG living together people.
Mm-hmm.
So I was taking a little sip of my drink there, and
So was I.
But yeah, so this week the country has gone into hell, and we've gone into second lockdown.
Woo!
So I'm at home, Jordan's at home, Sam's at home. We're all in different cities, talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
completely different places, on opposite sides of the world.
are you not in
Different countries.
Are you not both in Bournemouth?
Different sides
No,
of the hemisphere.
I'm actually home.
He's home.
I swear I heard you talking to each other before we started.
Yeah, it's called a Skype call, Sam.
Yeah.
That's how people communicate.
So you were on a Skype call
Yeah.
and a messenger call?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, we're trying something new this week, because obviously our initial plan was to have Mr. Bram here come in and sit at the table with us, but that can't happen anymore because we're not
No.
allowed into each other's houses.
Boris will catch you.
Boris will catch you. Speaking
And he
of
will
which,
steal your packed lunch.
take it from your cold, tiny little hands.
It's just him like, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of
Jam
which,
sandwiches.
Sam, your most recent upload
Mm-hmm.
is all about
I
a
brought it
lockdown
out.
to Electric Boogaloo.
I brought it out today, which isn't
Well,
the day
you-
this will go out.
Yeah, you brought it out last Wednesday because this will be Monday.
Yeah, the day we are recording.
We're recording on
Yes.
Monday and we get out on Monday.
Yep.
We're that good.
Yeah, so it's like my first video for my channel was talking about lockdown as a game. And the second one is talking about lockdown as a game with me dressed up as Boris Johnson firing laser eyes at people and chasing myself.
Yeah, so I have a question about that. So we're in lockdown. The whole country has come to a stop, but you managed to acquire a blonde wig.
Amazon.
Oh, you've given more money to that bloody bastard.
Jeff
Yeah,
Bezos.
I needed it quickly. It's not very good. It's not a very good wig, but
Well, that's
I mean,
because
it does the
Amazon.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a it's an obvious homage. Like, I knew exactly who you were supposed to be.
Oh, that's good.
which is good.
That's good. I also stuffed myself with wadding.
Yeah, there's a few bits where you turn to the side and you're just
Yeah.
a bit fat.
Caitlin got a bunch of wadding and stuck it in my shirt.
Sorry, who's Caitlin?
Caitlin is Sam's girlfriend.
Oh, Sam's girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah, Sam's girlfriend.
Who's Sam?
Yeah, who's Sam?
That's me.
You're Sam.
My girlfriend.
Oh, we don't own girls here, Sam. This is the 21st century.
Her name is Caitlin Bromley.
It's
And
Caitlin.
she's fantastic.
She's a wonderful human being, and she's very talented with costume.
We're more saying this because there's actually a gun to our head if we don't say and
Just-
compliment
Wait, how
her.
did she get there so fast?
You tell
She's
me.
breaking all kinds of laws right now, being in
Christ.
both of our houses.
It's
Yeah, the laws
electric
of-
boogaloo, for God's
the
sake.
laws
She
of
can do whatever.
Speed.
Yeah, but yeah, Caitlin's great, and Caitlin is more than just Sam's girlfriend. Just to clarify, for anyone
She's
who
a
actually
woman,
listened
an
to
independent woman.
for anyone who actually listened to last week's video, which isn't many people, which I don't blame anyone for because it's incoherent bullshit.
I mean, I watched it because half the stories I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also,
true.
we should probably let's touch on that quickly as well. Apologies for our Halloween upload.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. Me and Neil
You
were
said you were
aware
going
of
to bleep
that.
out a bunch of stuff, and then you just left it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, we recorded it. So usually we try to record this on like a Thursday or a Friday, to edit it over the weekend. I edit it over the weekend, and then get it up for Monday at like midday. But because Halloween was on Saturday the 31st, and we were all busy during the week, we decided to drink and do it on Saturday night, which is fine, and it was a really fun podcast.
Oh, it looked fun.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of died after if you actually look past the technical difficulties, edit. I just am done with the podcast.
Yeah.
What was the technical difficulties?
We just had a bunch of like sound problems, and Jordan's camera luckily stopped recording like at the same time as the sound cock up, so it was like quite easy to edit out.
Because I thought you stuck that over. It didn't seem like you'd cut. I thought you just stuck that over.
I stuck it over to hide the fact that the like images faded into each other.
Yeah, well, it's good that you can't see that it's a proper cut.
Yeah. I thought you just accidentally stuck something up there and then forgot.
No, it was straight up meant to be. If I could, I would have put that up over the whole video.
Yeah,
you could.
It was a bit of shambles.
Yeah, because we got so drunk, I was way too hungover to sit all of Sunday editing like I'd planned to.
I was in bed until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon as well.
Jordan got way too wasted and started to throw up during the night.
I haven't been like that in a very long time, may I just say as well.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think I've ever seen you like that. No, actually, even the
stories we told on the podcast, I've never been like that.
You've never been that bad when living with me, anyway.
No, it was actually awful. But yeah, so obviously we did that.
It meant the video wasn't great.
It wasn't great, and then obviously me and Neil were up very late Sunday, and we were discussing what we were going to do with it, and it just got to the stage where Neil didn't have a lot of time on his hands. Some things just weren't going great, so we did decide that we were just going to put it out as a single shot and not even edit really a lot of it. Normally we'd have zoom ins and things. It would be a bit funnier and stuff, but we just didn't have time. But it's a lesson, I guess, and it's a curve, and we've now understood if we're going to make a podcast like that, we need more time and preparation.
Yeah, we need to do it like a week in advance.
But there are some hilarious moments that we're actually going to edit and put onto a best of October highlight.
Yeah, we're going to make like a 10-minute video of all the best. Hang on a second,
something's beeping.
What's beeping?
Huh?
What's beeping?
I heard beeping.
Like problem beeping? Like...
Oh, that was freaky. I don't know. I'll just keep going.
Good.
That terrified me. I was like, oh my god, is something about to blow up? It's actually my aching bones.
Your aching bones are beeping.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Well, like squeaking. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, so this week is another week where we're kind of trying something new. So yeah, we wanted to get Sam here. That can't happen. So we've decided to try and do it like this, and we're just kind of seeing if we can do this, because I've up until this channel I'd never edited before.
Hadn't you?
No, straight up not. Like,
I thought you edited some lamppost videos.
I edited the podcast for the lamppost videos. But
most of the time, Sam takes in charge of that because Neil's shit.
Yeah, straight up. I leave it to.
Hang on, I thought you edited your most popular video on this channel.
Which was?
The one with millions and millions of.
The Stan Lee video.
No. He's talking about
this channel. Oh yeah, I can use Movie Maker.
That's Movie Maker. Anyone can use that.
Can I just double check that everyone's got headphones in? By the way.
I do.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, sweet.
I don't know how you're going to know where you're talking.
Oh, I'm just going to eyeball it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I can use... I always used to use Movie Maker, and even with the podcast, because we shot them in one take, it was just a case of syncing up the audio, adding the intro, and then putting it out there. So this is the first time I've actually done any kind of actual editing where like we do zooms and stuff like that. So this is going to be like my biggest feat I've ever done, because I'm actually going to have like 3 different videos all on screen at the same time,
yeah.
and we're going to be talking to each other, and I've got to sync it up and make it sound good. So this may be trash. Like, this may be a crap idea that we never do again, but I hope it's
Sure,
not.
it won't be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I hope
fingers
this. I hope this goes well, because it kind of gives us a little bit more freedom to talk to whoever, and
Yeah.
and also it means that, like, obviously Zach's been beneficial and he is helpful with all of his sound equipment, but sometimes it gets to the stage where everyone's busy and
Yeah, like
me
Zach's
and Neil
still
are
at uni.
free. Yeah, Zach's still at uni. He's got a lot going on with his course. Alan works, so there is times where it's easier for me and Neil just do it ourselves. So if we can get this working, it makes it a little bit easier for us as well.
Yeah.
That means we can keep getting content out there every week instead of having to pause. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're hoping to do what you do, Sam, which is just upload once a week.
Yeah.
And
I
actually,
mean,
we're
it's-
hoping to upload more than that, but
Yeah, we've
least
got a
once
few
a week.
plans.
Yeah.
We've got a few plans for lockdown possibly, and we've got a few plans for Christmas that we're in discussions with. So hopefully they can happen.
and
we can
equally,
get more
like
content.
doing this will lead to us being able to do those things.
Yeah.
I think
Like Sam, we're hoping one day to play Among Us on the channel.
that would be good.
So yeah, we will
Yeah.
try and cue you in for that.
Cool.
Yeah, it's well because it'll be good if we can get you, and we can get Sam Davis, so we can get Lamppost, and we can all
And
connect.
Caitlin, like get Caitlin and all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Like,
get
if
Caitlin
she
Bromley
wants
How
on
are
to.
you gonna like screen record Among Us?
That's the challenge, my dude.
Because I can screen record it on my PC.
We
I don't
can.
know how
I
you
can.
do it on a phone.
I can.
I will-
Most phones these days have screen recorders, so
Cool.
Yeah,
you
it's
can
just
just
a
do it
case
through
of
that.
us recording it on something else, like us recording face cams on something else. If
Which-
we even
and
use
we've both
face
got-
cams, it
Yeah,
might
and
not
we've-
even happen.
and me and Neil have both got cameras as well, so we can use face cams.
But yeah, hey Sam, how's first lockdown treated you and second lockdown treating you? How's it going?
First lockdown was long.
Yep.
And tough.
Good.
And boring.
Great.
Second lockdown, it's looking like it's going to be long
Yep.
Tough.
and tough.
Mhm.
And probably quite boring.
Well, you say boring, but it should be
But
quite good because
I have
we're doing it.
a target each week of making a video. That's a nice something to aim for.
Yeah.
We've
Keeps
got
me
that
going.
now.
And yeah,
It's frustrating, but like I'm kind of glad we're going into lockdown again because I think
Really?
I think it's needed. I think it's probably necessary this time. Like
It's more necessary as we go into the winter.
yeah, and it's been timed better this time. I think.
I think people are more used to it now.
I don't know yet. I don't know if it's being timed better because against what they've been saying in the news, we were recommended to go into lockdown about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't even know we were going in until it happened.
No, I didn't. I didn't know. I didn't
I've
think
not
I
been
was
on
going to
the news
happen.
recently.
That I was literally down at the beach, and then I got home, and the next thing I know, we're going into lockdown.
Boris was like, lockdown 2.0.
Which I was, I'm fine with because obviously, like, if it's needed, it's needed at the end of the day. But there was a lot of decisions that I had to make. Like, I didn't know if I was going to go home this time. I didn't know if it was beneficial for me to go and stay at my mum's or my dad's, or if it was going to be here. Obviously, for me, I've been kind of in this extended period of lockdown. The only time that I got a break was doing Warp and Woof.
Yeah. Kind
But
of.
for me, I kind of like trying to get a job is near impossible at the moment.
Feel
And
that.
alongside that, and nothing else, I'm just consistently. It's just I go to the gym, I come home, and I do fuck all. I guess that's all I've
A
got.
fun life you lead there.
It's actually the worst thing ever.
But like you try and do something else, and then there's just you're like, oh, I'll go out and see that. Oh wait, no.
Yeah, and especially as well, like although things were open, when you can't get a job and you're limited on your money,
You can't
you
spend
can't
anything.
do much. You can't
No,
do those things.
no.
So it is a tough time, I think, for everyone, and it's a tough strain on mental health and
Mm-hmm.
the economy, and all those things add up to why a lot of people's mental health will deteriorate through lockdown, unfortunately, and being
Completely.
alone. But that's why you just got to make the most of my time. I've come up with a better schedule for this
Mm-hmm.
lockdown. Um, just keeping myself out of the house as much as I can, and
Mm.
I know that that's not recommended. Like that, well, you are allowed out of the house, but I just mean for exercise purposes only.
Yeah.
So swimming,
Yeah.
cycling, getting out, um, and that
Yeah,
should
it's not
take
like
up a
last time
good
where you're
chunk.
only allowed out once. So.
No, exactly, and it should take up a good chunk of my day as well. Like
Mm.
when me and Neil swim, we're
Yeah.
out for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
it's
We do
like,
spend a ridiculous amount of time, like,
well, yeah,
just there at the beach, in the water.
Mm.
Like, we're always shattered, and we're like, why are we shattered? But it's because it's been, like, 2 hours. And then we're like, oh, crap, that flew
exactly.
by.
So realistically, I'm just gonna kind of take it, bear and grin it, really, and like
Mm.
just see how it comes. I hope to God that it doesn't last. Like, I obviously, there's a part of me that will go, oh yeah, it will last for a while.
Mm.
But as long as I can get home for Christmas to see my family, I'm gonna be happy.
Mm.
As
Yeah.
long as I can do that, because I can't, like, I've done Christmas, totally different story, but I've done Christmas away from home before. I was on holiday, and it just isn't the same being away from family.
No.
So yeah, I
No,
think
I, I,
that's
I think, I think we'll definitely be home for Christmas. And, like, it sounds bad, but if we're not allowed, like, you can absolutely go. Like, no one's stopping you from leaving. Like,
Yeah.
and if you haven't seen anyone, like, you won't be at risk to anyone. And I know I had a friend back in March who lived in London, and he moved back home to Bristol, but then spent 2 weeks just in his room, quarantining, and then, like, came out to see his family finally.
yeah.
Mm.
It's one of those things. Like I'm a big believer as well. Is like a rule that should be expressed and possibly taken into account if we do, touch wood, we don't. If we do go into another lockdown again after this, or if things don't get better, is that if you are living alone and your mental health does start to deteriorate, you should be able to travel to a loved one's house
Mm.
to see them
Yeah.
and stay there, because
be fair,
it is hard.
If you are alone, you can enter someone else's bubble.
Yeah.
Well, true, yeah.
Are
that-
bubbles
that
even a
is-
thing this time round? Like,
Um,
has that even been mentioned? Because I feel like
Yeah,
that was a thing
they've
that
mentioned something bubbles. Can't remember what the word is,
wash
but
your hands and wait for the soap to get all bubbly and.
Sam,
Yeah.
that joke in Lockdown 2.0 when you were like, a school isn't a bubble, it's a bottle of fairy liquid. I
Yeah.
was in
Well,
stitches.
Greasy.
we came. Well,
Absolutely
I said
gruesome.
that joke to you already in the past.
Yeah.
Or we both said it at the same time. I said it a time
Oh,
before, and I
yeah.
thought I'm gonna put it in I'm gonna put this in a video 'cause it's funny.
I forgot that I was involved in the writing of that. I've basically just said, I find myself funny. You're welcome. Cool. That don't make me
well,
look
I
like
think
a
you're
dick
the
at
one
all.
you're the one who coined the term "washing up liquid." I was
Neil,
already aiming
already
somewhere
said
in
that.
there, but
That's,
Sorry, it lagged out.
oh my god. Ah,
yeah, there you go.
yeah.
Hang on a second,
You
and
were
let's
involved in the
just
forming of that.
let's just talk about that as well. You, Neil, don't say, "Oh, it now makes me sound like a dickhead." You always find yourself funny. That's why you edit the podcast like it is.
Hey, I'm fair with the editing, I'd say.
I know. I'm not saying you're not fair.
Okay, good.
But
I do find myself funny, and there are times in the podcast where I say something, and I'm the only one who laughs, because
Yes.
I find myself ridiculously funny.
Yes, you do.
I really do. I will crack myself up. I will lie in bed at night and laugh at things I've said during the day. Like, it sounds vain, but
you
I,
need more hobbies.
yeah, probably. But yeah, this lockdown should be better. Let's move past me being a dick.
Well, it should be. It should be, and especially considering. Well, you can touch on it a bit, but considering you are a university student and universities are allowed to stay open.
Yeah, which I'm glad about. Not sure if that's the right decision, but I am glad about it.
I don't think it is either, but
Because purely just because I get to continue in my degree, and
yeah,
good for me. But I do see the arguments against, and I see the arguments for gyms staying open and all that type of stuff. Like I see why if them, not us?
The thing is, there's no easy solution. You're
not
going to be
at all.
hurting someone. They're already, by going into a second lockdown, they're crippling an already crippled economy.
Yeah.
Like there's no solution that's gonna not cause worse stuff to happen.
No, but I've just lucked out this time round, and great. But I am I'm glad that I get to continue, and I know this month will fly by. Like I've got, so starting on Monday, Monday a week ago, I started rehearsals for a play I'm in, which is The Cherry Orchard, and we started our online Zoom rehearsals as we were always going to, and then obviously Thursday comes around and we're in lockdown now. So I've been really lucky in the sense that I'm just continuing as normal, and by the end of this month, by the time we're out of lockdown again, I will have just finished performing a show. It's all socially distanced and everything, which you guys know because you obviously have done it. But I am just cracking on as normal, which is amazing.
Yeah. Well, I see. The thing is, I see like you were saying, I see the fors and I see the against. Education is something that needs to carry on. Of course, it does. However, I also think that there can be better ways of handling it. Like the education minister or something like that, the guy who runs education in the UK, he spoke on BBC the other day, and he was saying about putting a rota in place so that secondary school kids go in, but they go in at rotas, so some will go in for these days of the week, others will come
Monday,
in for
Wednesday and Friday.
Yeah,
you alternate it.
Kind of just breaks it up a little bit so that it's a lot easier to manage, because unfortunately, same with universities and a university life and what people want to do and stuff, education places are hella high with cases of corona, and it's going to spread like wildfire amongst university students because university students mingle so heavily.
There's hundreds, thousands of people sharing a building.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they should have been doing that from the start in primary schools. Primary education isn't that effective. You've got to teach them, and you can't let them have the year off, and that's not feasible. But if you put them in 3 days a week instead of, if you put the year 5 and 6 kids in 3 days a week, and put the rest of the years in 2 days a week, and just broke them up like that, you're just halving the chances of infection.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, it's the same as what they did. They put originally. Primary schools and secondary schools, they went back in tiers, didn't they? So you had certain year groups come back first, and then certain year groups, and then certain year groups. If they're able to do that, then they're able to do rotas. That's the way I see it.
Because the issue with that was, by the time the third tier of kids were going in, that's the whole school.
Yeah. Bearing in mind most classes as well. Yeah. And bearing in mind most classes, especially in primary schools and secondary schools, there's a common point that's always raised is there is a lot of students per classes these days. You've got 30 kids per class. That's a lot of students in one tiny room, essentially. All doing
with different families that they go back to.
Yeah.
That have jobs.
That have jobs, and then who spread it? Do you know what I mean? If all of these kids have got parents that work with hundreds and hundreds of people, it's just going to be a massive it can spread easily. Do you know what I mean?
Spreads so that's why it's done what it's done, because it spreads so easily.
Yeah, and so realistically, there is that way things need to be put in place to implement better restrictions in a way, so that people can keep going on with their education and not
Mm-hmm.
be at risk as much or as high risk as they are with it, really.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
can be done. It can be done,
Mhm.
100%.
Well, yeah. Just look at like I know New Zealand's the size of New Zealand compared to the amount of people that live there, but like they've
Still
nailed it.
proportionally,
Yeah.
they've done amazing.
It's incredible. And then there's us who have a bumbling idiot for a prime minister. But we're not getting political today.
No, no.
we're-
Go watch my video.
Yeah,
Yes.
go watch Sam's satirical video.
Watch it.
It's great.
Of
Watch it.
Boris.
It is amazing. It'll
Firing
probably come
laser
up in
eyes.
the
I'm
top.
going to finish this
top
sweet
right-hand
cup of
corner.
tea.
I'm glad, man.
Cool. You enjoy that.
So yeah, we all used to live together. You guys lived together last year.
Well, half of
And-
last year until lockdown occurred.
Oh yeah. Okay,
And then
yeah.
there was a thing that meant
And then
that we couldn't live together anymore.
and then the three of us lived together the year before that. So you guys have lived together for 2 years in a row. Me and Jordan are currently in our second year of living together. And Sam, I'd say you lived with me in first year. Like, we spent most of our time together. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
that is
slept over
true.
in
You definitely
Madeira
did.
halls most nights. Like it
Yeah.
was
I needed a social life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you lived where you live now, which is like half an hour away from Bournemouth,
Mm-hmm.
give or take.
But I'd
And-
come and stay.
yeah,
A
and-
bunch.
So on like there's a club night called Toast Tuesday, which is the well, it used to be the best. I haven't done it in forever. But
No, I
it's
haven't
not
done it
now.
since first year, maybe second year.
yeah,
It's
I've never
awful
Third
now.
year?
because
I
it's
don't know.
at where is it now? Is it at?
So
it's
vodka
Revs.
revs.
Yeah.
I ended up
Yeah, it used to
being
be in
there
Yates. That
for.
was good.
I ended up being there for one of our mates' birthdays in February, and we had this like VIP area. Well, not
Fancy.
VIP. It was just area cordoned off for us, and
That's fancy.
basically the ceiling started to cave in a bit.
Was that in Revs?
Yeah, and
I've
like
seen that happen before as well.
like I was in there, and like everyone was on the dance floor. I was just in this booth just drinking by myself, and then the next thing I know, there's a bit of rubble that hits, and then just water, and then I'm saturated in this water, and
God.
all of these people's coats are all just covered in water as well. And I'm like, oh, I need to gather them up, so I'm just moving them and just
Oh,
making
wait,
sure
was
nothing
this-
gets in.
Was it Hattie's birthday?
Yeah, I wasn't going to name names, but
Oh
Alright,
shit! Sorry.
alright.
Well,
We can say
you
Hattie.
you can bleep it like you did in the
No.
last video.
no, there's no point. It's Hattie's birthday.
Yeah,
And,
I was there for that too, and it was just
and everyone was dancing, and I was trying to clear all these bloody coats. And then
they
I
put
looked
a
up,
giant
and I
like
went-
one of those giant buckets under it, and it just filled
Yeah.
in like 20 minutes.
See, so
and I looked up, and it was actually directly where the boys' toilets were.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went up to the boys' toilets, and all of the cubicles had been locked off because there
Yeah.
was a leak.
my God.
So I
it
was
probably
like,
toilet water.
I'm covered in fucking toilet water.
Bournemouth Revolution like cracks me up because so in 2019 I worked in the summer of 2019 I worked at Vodka Revs in Bristol for like 2 months, like for barely any time, and like they would laugh at how shit Bournemouth Revs is. So like there was talk like because I thought I was gonna work there for the year, but I ended up getting a better job. But there was talk of me like transferring to Bournemouth Revs because like with the job, and they were just like, don't do it. Get any
Yeah.
other job.
That's
Work
what
anywhere else.
I had.
Wow.
I had an interview for Vodka Revs in Bournemouth, and I ended up speaking to the woman. She was like, "Yeah, well, yeah, we'd love for you to come in for an interview." And I was like, "Awesome, thank you very much. When do you want me to come for an interview?" And she didn't respond for ages, and then she said, "Monday," and I was like, "Cool. What time?" And she didn't respond, and it got to Monday. So I went in, and I was like, "Hi, I don't know what time I'm supposed to be coming in, but I have an interview at some point today with this woman." And they were like, "Oh, she's not actually here." And I was like, "Right, okay."
Right.
And then they were
That's
like, "Yeah."
terrible.
And then I was like, oh, well, can I get back to her at any point? And she was like, "Actually, no. I don't know if we're hiring at the moment." And I was like,
That's
Right.
ridiculous.
and then I just was like, nah, do you know what? Screw it. I'm not going back there ever.
I know a lot of people at Revs in Bournemouth have like worked trial shifts
And just
For
not stuck
free.
around.
for free and then not been hired.
Yeah.
Like apparently they do that a lot. So yeah, if you're thinking of coming to BU or AUB or just moving to Bournemouth in general,
Go to Revs. It's great.
yeah,
Don't
Revs
get
is
a
the
job
best
at
place in the
local
world.
Revs. Don't do it. Just don't do
It's
it.
not worth it.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it, Nat. Don't
Please.
do it.
Don't.
But yeah, we used to live together in
How many
a house
times are you
that
going to
we will-
fucking mention that we've lived
Yeah.
together?
because
I mean, we only just mentioned
I'm
it
trying
5
to get-
minutes ago, like
I'm trying to
28
get
minutes
back
into
to
the
it.
podcast.
Yeah, but I might as well take a shot every time that you say, oh, we live together.
so we lived together.
Wait, you guys lived with me?
At one point.
Yeah,
Oh,
together
yes.
we lived
We lived
Definitely
together.
regret it.
together in
I
a house
remember
that
that.
we will forevermore refer to as 31 because it was the number of the
It was
house.
Number 31.
Um,
In can we give the address? No.
no,
No.
don't give the address.
Do not give the
Oh,
address.
we don't live there anymore.
Dang it, Sam. But yeah, we lived together. Riveting content, this, I tell you that much. Yeah,
We got-
we did dumb shit
My
in a
life.
big crappy house.
I mean, you can see the house in
In one
what's
of the
video
videos.
called? The
what?
one we filmed where we filmed that music video.
Oh,
the cheese touch.
The mysterious incident of the cheese in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan, you
that's
mean
the
Rovid 18?
one. Sorry.
Um,
I hate the fact that that's actually a thing. Like, someone's used I can't even fucking say it.
touch.
Cheese touch.
Tease church.
Cheese touch.
As Rovid 18. But
Tease
yeah,
church.
that music video was fun.
Yeah,
It was.
it was very bizarre to.
If you want to see
to
that music
watch.
video, go and link.
I'll put it
it's
up
on.
at the top.
No, it's link
It's
is
on
in
my
the
channel.
description and it's on Sam Bram's channel.
I mean, it might one day have to come down because of music, but
Copyright infringement.
Don't
I
worry
mean,
about it.
it's there for now. So watch it while you can.
But yeah, that video is actually quite a good like trailer for the amount of dumb shit we used to do
Oh,
in
yeah.
31. Like
That was only
it was
the
a
surface.
it was a big 6-bedroom house with 3 of us living in it for
Mhm.
various reasons, and we just destroyed it because it was a shithole.
Well, we destroyed it, but we didn't do any permanent damage.
We
and
actually
we got,
got
our whole
a lot
deposit
of
back.
Yeah, we got a whole deposit back.
Did we get it all
Almost.
back?
Apart from
Yeah.
like one tiny little fee that was nothing to do with damage to the house.
Oh dang!
I think we got charged for like a bit of paint.
No,
Was
no,
it?
we didn't. I stopped them charging us for that even because I mean they clearly hadn't painted. And they'd also painted in rooms we'd not really lived in.
They also tried charging us for the fact that I basically I would grab once I'd finished cleaning in the rooms, I'd grab the curtains and tie them up just so I knew
Yeah.
that I had done that room, and they ended up putting on our sheet at the end. They were trying to charge us for the fact that I tied the curtains up.
The thing is, they were tied up when we arrived.
They were tied up when we arrived, and the worst thing is as well, you can untie them. It doesn't cost to untie them.
No, anyone can untie them.
The funniest thing about it was they tried to charge you for that, but then obviously you lived like not very far away from 31 in the following year.
We lived at 42.
Every time we walked past 31,
The new tenants hadn't
they,
taken the
they'd
curtains
still
down.
be tied up.
Yeah.
So
And
like
we
they
were
just
like, "Oh,
never
crap."
touched them again, which
Wow.
is
Turns out it is
weird.
a problem. You can't untie them.
yeah maybe they were too tightly tied.
Yeah,
The knots too tight.
Oh.
they could not untie them.
No, they should be able to. They're just dumb.
They're just dumbass. Did they untie them for the entire year? Like or,
I stopped. I mean, we moved away in March.
No, because I went back, obviously, didn't I?
Oh, you went back, didn't you?
I
yeah,
had
you were
to.
here for like the entirety of lockdown basically.
Yeah, and and through June June, July, and August,
Mm.
and September essentially.
moved
No,
out.
they were still tied up.
Amazing, fantastic. Well
Did
done.
they never close their curtains? Like,
No, they had the white. You know how we had that like mesh material.
yeah, but at night you want to close your. You don't want just mesh over your curtains at night.
Exactly.
Because the light shines out and you can see in from the outside.
I thought they untied the curtains, but it was the mesh that you tied.
I tied up both.
Yeah, and they just never untied the mesh.
No, some of the curtains aren't untied.
My God, what a.
Anyway, that's a
state.
house that we used to live together in.
31 was. I genuinely like we miss it all the time.
Oh, you talked about it in the last podcast, and I was getting all nostalgic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I miss
I think
that
I
house.
miss it because of how big it was, and you could just do anything.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it had like sort of old wallpaper, and it wasn't very like as opposed to the next house the next year, which is easily damaged because it's so sort of modern and pristine. That one's old and could be and was kind of tatty, and therefore any damage wouldn't really show.
It was a lot fucking cleaner than this house, that's for sure.
But
That's because I lived there.
yeah, to be fair, but it was dumb because it was so big and because it was so old and we didn't really care about the condition we left it in.
Mm-hmm.
We like there was tea
Nerf
bags that
wars.
we threw at the walls on one day, and yeah, we played Nerf wars, and we had a Christmas tree that we left up for like the entirety of the year that Jordan would just run into every day.
800 ball pit balls.
The ball pit balls.
I bought
still
2 of
got
those
those.
bags. I want my 200. I bought 2 of those bags. I want my 200 ball pit balls back.
Do you really?
We want half of the Nerf guns.
I use them in videos.
Yeah, well, I don't care, Sam Bram. I want my little
We
pistol.
paid for them,
We paid for them.
little bitch.
Alright, well, I mean, you'll get them after lockdown.
I want them sent in the post, God damn it.
I want you to disinfect each one and post it individually.
No, I want to rock up one day with them all sort of lined up in the boot and be like a sort of Mexican arms dealer or something.
Or like come in on a horse looking like Hot Fuzz.
And you have to discard the broken ones as not half of them because they are broken.
Well, that leaves you with like a gun each.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, you can keep the broken ones if you're.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can
I
have-
mean, I can still use them as props.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. So that's
We
fine.
actually want a Nerf. We're such children.
I've been contemplating buying a lightsaber because I just want to fucking do something in the house.
I could really use a lightsaber in some of my sketches.
See, it's not even for sketches. I'm just a child.
Just for fun. Me and Jordan were sat the other night on the landing, and then we like stood up and like turned all the lights off, and we were like, "It's really dark. It's so scary." And we started to like freak each other out with how fucking dark it was.
Well, when we were, like I was saying, that Sunday night when we were editing the Halloween podcast,
Mhm.
I was also we both of us were just sat watching like haunted house videos on YouTube or people go to like abandoned houses. I love it.
Yeah,
actually
I love it, but like going up to bed that night, I was like, all the lights on, get in bed, then the light off, and I'm like under my duvet, like ah.
I was alright. I actually came up and watched more. I was up until like 4
Brave
o'clock in the
man in me.
morning just watching like these horror videos. It was
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
my grandma's house where me and Caitlin both live, there's no street lamps or anything. And at night it's literally pitch black.
You mean there's no lamppost?
There's no lamppost.
There's no
yeah,
lamppost.
so you can't subscribe to it. Yeah, there's no light at all, and it's a big house, and we thought about watching The Haunting of Hill House,
Ooh.
oh, good. Yes, watch it. It's very good.
which I think might be, yeah.
I watched. I've not seen Hill House, but I've seen Bly Manor, and it's great.
I know you're in a massive house and it's quite freaky where you're living with someone, but it's not as scary as you think it is, but it's a very good story. So is the one Neil was on about Bly
Bly
Manor.
Manor.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because yeah, I've not seen the first series, but the second series really impressed me.
Bly Manor, I think, is a better story
Mm.
in terms of like what it's actually doing. Hill House is a bit more spookier in the sense of it is like pretty much all told in the dark.
That's cool.
Might watch it in the dark then.
You got it.
Yeah.
Scary stories to tell in
No.
the dark.
I do really like horror things, but it's just that I've never like Hereditary we watched Hereditary as a house.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh,
that was too
that's-
scary.
That's
And
one of the
on-
best movie watching experiences
Yeah.
I've ever seen in my entire life.
We watched it in 31 on my projector.
You watched it in the dark
Yeah.
on a projector,
In the living
right
room.
up big on the wall.
and it was on the
Huge.
wall, yeah, and it was a lot of fun. But apart from that, I've not had any experiences where I've been true, like, not even like, yeah, I'm not that, like, I don't get that scared anymore. Like, I always want a really good horror game as well. Like, Until Dawn came out, that was a very good horror game. Outlast was a very good horror game, but that's been about it.
Yeah, the first Outlast I really enjoyed. I wasn't a huge fan of the second one.
No, but there's just not been anything other than that that's truly terrifying.
I can't get past Outlast first 15 minutes.
I actually did Outlast 1 with my mate Solly. I can't remember when it was. It was before university, but we were like, oh, we'll do like a full game night of like when we were 13 or whatever, and we'll buy Monster Energy drinks and we'll play games all night. We ended up doing the whole of Outlast until 6 o'clock in the morning. Well, I was doing it. Solly was watching behind me. We had 6 Monster Energy drinks each, and I've never had a worse hangover than that.
That was piss was green.
That was seriously awful. There's Solly's got somewhere. We probably won't get it, but there's video footage of me on the street outside McDonald's at 7 o'clock in the morning, waiting for it to open, just lying down because I felt so ill.
Oh my god!
I was just so done with the day.
That's gross.
And I looked at him and I was just thinking to myself, I was the one that played Outlast. He just sat and watched. It got to 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I want to go to bed now, Solly. He was like, no, you got to stay up and we got to go to McDonald's. Matt's coming to pick us up. It'll be fine. And I was like, oh my god.
I've been saying to you for ages now, and you probably get sick of me saying it, but it's not been said on the podcast. But you need to do a horror maze. You need to do like live.
I really want to do a horror maze. I've never done one, which is weird.
They're ridiculously good.
Like, considering how much I like it, I just haven't done one.
I think it's the best like adrenaline you'll get from doing it is spookums.
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think you can beat the idea of just going to an abandoned building and just exploring. Like that's like with a horror maze, you know something's going to come out and jump you. But with an abandoned building, you don't know what the hell is in there. Like, there could be a squatter.
That's the difference. You
exactly.
That's the thrill.
The horror is actual, real
it's death.
But yeah, like I'm not condoning it, but if it ever happened, I'd be up for going to an abandoned building.
Yeah, you know we would, and we'd film it. But horror mazes are illegal, and that's the difference.
Yes, they're legal.
Can you not go in abandoned buildings?
You know,
I think so. Depends. I'm pretty sure it's trespassing, right? The buildings belong to someone.
Depends if someone owns it.
Yeah, but everyone owns everything nowadays.
No one owns Mars.
I'm gonna buy Mars.
No.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, we're kind of at the length we were aiming for, my dudes. How much could you booze?
45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in for a sweet little 45 minutes.
45 minutes, just to chat. Obviously, catch up with Sam.
Yeah.
Talk about a few stories. Sam will probably be on again at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
he's the only one of our friends who's willing
to do it. But
well, that's the only reason.
We do have a podcast coming up next week, which is about mental health. We are hopefully going to get our friend Laura on the podcast as well.
Coming up. It might not be next week, but
I'm hoping it will be. I'm hoping it will be.
If we can do that.
Well, I've spoken to Laura. She's up for it next week.
Didn't know that. I'm with the audience on this one.
Surprise!
You do this a lot. You're like, by the way, this is next week, and I'm like,
hey, I'm just coming up with topics, bro. I'm like a open book. You flip my pages, and a topic will be there.
That sounded weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the next topic?
The next topic after that is
I'm gonna take charge on this one. We're probably gonna get my other friend Sam from the Lamppost on, so we can bully him, because for some reason we've started a feud with
We started a
other
goddamn
channel.
war.
As I announced in a video for some reason.
You did.
Yeah.
Caitlin's idea.
I love that. That's great.
So yeah, keep up to date with that. Also, more news. Whoa! Boom!
You
I
can
want
This is
massive
like
ex-
the news.
a
You can
massive
announce
explosion.
merch. What's happening? I'm excited. I don't know what's going on.
I've just set up a Instagram page, so we're gonna
Have you?
start with that as well. Yes, I have, fella.
I fucking know these
Cool.
things.
I told you I was gonna do it earlier, and you're
Yeah,
like,
but
cool.
I didn't. Yeah, but it's also you. I didn't expect you to actually do it.
"Oh, I'm doing
I mean,
it."
You
Uh,
could just find out who owns Give Me Rent and try and use that one.
Rad.
Sam, we don't discuss Give Me Rent.
We don't know who Give Me Rent is.
Exactly, so we don't discuss it. Give Me Rent, by the way, is an Instagram page that has content of me, Sam Bram, and a few of our other mates,
I don't
and
know.
keeps
I think.
keeps randomly uploading videos of us and
Even though I
photos.
never lived in with you when it was made.
No.
I don't know.
They've renamed their thing now, though, to all the houses that we and you have lived in.
We've got fans.
We have secret fans who won't admit who they are.
But yeah. Anyway, so yes, we have an Instagram page that will be starting up in the next week or so once we actually get pictures and stuff and update you on there, which will be fun. We're being proactive as much as possible, and like I said, yeah, we're going to get Laura on for a next podcast, and then Sam, more so because lockdown is occurring. Mental health is going to be a big part in the next lockdown. It was in the first lockdown, so it'll be a nice topic to talk about, and talk about things we can discuss really and how to cope with it.
Yeah, yeah.
which will be
It's a
fun.
discussion that needs having, and I think the more people who talk about it, the better this month
Yeah.
will go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so like we said, this is probably, we're going to wrap it up now. Thank you, Sam Bram, for coming on.
That's
like we
alright.
said,
Yeah,
we'll come
thanks,
on.
man.
I will have to get you in my videos, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
might have to wait until after lockdown.
I mean, if there's
Definitely.
Unless I
anything we
can come
can
up
do
with a
from a
concept.
distance.
Yeah, unless I can come up with a concept where you are just sort of,
There.
I'll think of something.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Well, we
thank
don't
you
have to
so
be in the
much
shot together.
for coming on. Also, Sam, do you want to just let the audience know what your YouTube channel is and to go and check
Yeah.
it out?
Subscribe to Sam Bram. It's been in the background this whole time.
Awesome. So subscribe to that. Make sure you check out his videos. They're actually very, very funny. And
Thank
he's
you.
making some good content as well. And like always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share this video, share with everyone around you as well. If you're sharing this through Facebook or Instagram or SoundCloud, share it with your family. We want to try and get this up to a standard where we can make good content continuously and see where it goes, really. It's a good thing for me and Neil to do, especially through lockdown.
It's fun, and
It's
yeah,
fun.
it distracts us. And
It looks
yeah.
fun.
So
It's
yeah.
a good thing to work on.
there'll hopefully be more than just a podcast a week from
yeah,
now on.
yeah, and we, like, me and
Next
Neil
week
have
on.
got some
this
ideas
week on.
circulating that we'll probably put up on the Instagram page, see how many, put a poll up, see what people think, get some audience responses as well, and yeah, like I said, like, subscribe, share. Also, drop us a comment as well if you want to see anything in particular. If you have any questions, we can do a podcast about just answering questions from the public as well. That would be cool. That would keep us interested and up to date with everything.
Q&A.
And as always, thank you so much, guys, and I will let Neil say goodbye.
Exit pursued by a bear. And now everyone just keeps talking because that's
Yeah.
what happens every
That
Yeah.
normally is what happens,
So
but thank you
is-
so much.
Cool.
I hate.
I hate you all.
But we love
Bye.
you,
Bye,
people
bye.
watching.
Yes.
Love you all.
I hate you all.
Goodbye,
Wait, wait.
23.6k subscribers.
Hey, hey, we love you. All right,
Awesome.
cool. Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
stop
fun, guys.
recording now.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop recording.
Oh, I can't even speak. Yo, 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 it's your boy, Skinny Penis on the radio. Yo. 2 seconds, I just need to go and get some tissue for my nose. Whoa.